Peace, peace, peace to the gods, peace to the gods. Yusef here. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Get a mic check in the chat real quick. Make sure everything's coming through loud and clear. Mic check. Sometimes I gotta just do my own mic check. I see. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the Why the 9-8 number broadcast. But before I get into that, I want to run a commercial real quick. There's a link in the description of this video. I am having a seminar at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Houston, Texas, in the Galleria area. As it says, you're going to learn how to establish a private trust, leverage credit, and navigate the secure party process to operate effectively through a private entity. And that's the reason today I'm giving you this preview of using the 9-8 number. You know, I'm a privacy advocate and private property advocate. Let's start using some terminology so we can start alienating ourselves away from this word sovereign citizen, because it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But today, we are going to have an excellent conversation about the 9-8 number. But if you want to register, and people out were asking me, well, you know, where is the seminar? You know, where's the seminar at? Oh, it's going to be, you know, and they said how, you know, people got to drive and things like that. It's going to be in Houston, Texas. It's going to be, I think it's what, the 13th and the 14th of January. It's going to be like a Saturday and a Sunday. It's going to be a weekend. It's going to be about 8 hours a day. Bring your pen and paper. It's going to be a lot of information that's going to be given out in that seminar. So register early is $399 per person. After December 23rd is $499. We might, you know, I think I might add something on here. If you come in as a couple, meaning as a male and female, or husband and wife, or something like that, you know, I might add that, bring one person with you, you know, your wife or significant other. So, you know, I'm not trying to be greedy or anything like that, but y'all know what it is. Anyway. Get the likes up. And there I am. Peace to the gods, peace to the gods. We got in the what we got in the chat? Got in the chat. Private 9. Those likes up. Where we likes at? You know, we only got 114 people watching, 17 likes. There's something wrong with that. Let's get them likes up to 50. Let's get these likes up to 50 right now. Let's get them up to 50. Get the likes up to 50. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Why the 9-8 number? Why the 9-8 number? Okay, there seems to be a lot of misinformation. You know, I want to give you some backstory on all of this first and foremost. I'm going to give y'all some backstory on this 9-8 number. When I was first got into this, everybody was looking for this holy grail. This is around 2010, something like that. And they were looking for this process, holy grail process that involved incorporating a trust. And there were various people out there doing it. Patrick Devine was one individual. He was attempting to do it. And this 98 number came up in DBAs and things like that, and individuals were selling the end of information for $2,000 a pop. I didn't quite understand it at all that. And I'm like, well, I got to pay $2,000 to get a 98 number. And I didn't understand, the 405 number, the corp number. And that's what people were doing. They were getting people a corp number and a 98 number. Now, a lot of these people that were doing this didn't understand why they were doing it. They didn't understand. They were just doing it. They say, hey, get them a 98 number. They just wanted to know they could charge you $2,000 to get a number. And a lot of you out there were gladly paying it. You didn't know why the fuck you were paying it. You were just paying it because it seemed like the right thing to do. The person was talking very intelligent and just took you so far with it and then, just dipped on it. Right? Is that what happened? Pull this live chat up. Is that what happened? Is that a pretty fair assessment of what went on? Well, 98 number is not a remedy. Y'all call it a remedy. What do you mean when you say it's a remedy? Y'all like that word remedy. Remedy means right. And rights are only enforced through contracts. A remedy means right, and rights are only enforced through contracts. We private individuals. All our rights have to be expressed through a contract. Contract makes the law. On the private side, if you're not under a contract, then you're under a statute, code, rule, or regulation coming from the public, and you don't have the status, the necessary status. But we have the ability to contract unlimited contracts. You have the right to I think a lot of people just think they just have these rights that just walk around, I just got the right. If you don't know your rights, you don't have any. All right? So you got to know your rights, and you got to know how to enforce your rights. We're looking right here. Don't make me, and please don't make me, start putting people on timeout in the chat room. That foolishness in the chat room. Let's see, I got my 98 number free from the IRS. Yeah, they are free. But back then, I didn't know it was free. They are free. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. See if I can drop this up. Pull this up real quick. And what it is, what I'm doing is, I'm about to pull up a guru's information because I like to show y'all where I get all this stuff from. I don't want y'all to think I created it. A lot of people walk around and make you think, yeah, I created this and I created that. And I'm like, you didn't create anything. You're not the creator of the information. All this information comes from the contribution of a lot of different people, just over time. It wasn't just one person that came up with all this information. It is the product of the combined efforts of many different people. See if I got it on. Okay, yeah, there it go right there. All right. What? This foolishness. Oh, you know what? I think I got it on the website. Let me put it on the website. Okay, I saw where somebody said they already had a 98 number. The 98 number, you get it from the Philadelphia campus, all right? And, the Philadelphia IRS campus from the IRS. It is the only EIN number that you can get without utilizing your social security number because it's foreign. They're expecting you to state that you're coming from a jurisdiction outside the United States. Now, we understand that the jurisdiction of the United States is in the 10-mile square in Washington, D.C., and that's been carved out by the Constitution, as well as all the insular possessions of the United States. The Social Security number is an insular possession of the United States. And if you're using a benefit and a privilege from the United States, that has established a minimum contact and made you subject to their jurisdiction. So we can dispel with this notion that you're going to have your cake and eat it too. You're either all right or you're not right at all. Public and private do not mix. All right? That's why we have these rules in place. So stop thinking you're going to have your cake and eat it too. That's not happening. It's not happening, all right? Let me see if... I'm trying to get this computer set up for y'all. I hit it right. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get this in a minute. I see this computer's tripping. The screen, where is it at? All right. Yeah, here we go. Let me put this up. Now, real quick, before we get into that, I want to show y'all remember this chart. This chart is very important for you to understand. You got to understand public and private. I want you to always remember public and private. I'm putting this up. You can write this down. Remember that. That is very important for you to understand the distinction between public and private. What we got in here? Can we discuss auto insurance? No, we're not going to discuss auto insurance. Kick him out. Kick them out. You know, anybody ask questions like that, we got to kick their ass out. No, I'm just playing. What you think you're gonna do? Use a bond to get auto insurance? See, a lot of y'all don't understand negotiable instruments. You like to act like you do, but you don't, because first of all, it's called negotiable instrument. Okay, you're not using unless you're using a security, which means you have collateral that's collateralizing the instrument. But if you're going to use a bond, then it has to be something that is acceptable. They're not going to accept it, and they're not required to accept it if they can't see any way to collect on it. Okay? They're not going to do that. So you're sitting here talking about, you know, I've seen all the people talking about insurance. Now, you can do insurance on the private side with the government because they have a duty. But none of these processes were designed for you to go get car insurance. They weren't designed for you to buy automobiles. You can't buy anything. When you see people acquiring things, that's because they created a contract. And I know a lot of y'all want to do it. And I'm going to tell you how to do it so you can go out and get arrested. Because that's what happens. A lot of y'all, in your greed, you want to go out and get things for free. And you don't understand that there's no such things as something for nothing. It don't exist in the universe. It don't exist. So, you know, as far as people getting insurance, and people have done it, but you'd have to get with a carrier that you can arrange that and set that up with your negotiable instrument where it will be acceptable to them. They're not required to take it. No one is required to take your negotiable instrument but the federal government, because that's what JR 192 of June 5th, 1933, Public Law 73-2 requires them to do. So I'm here to dispel a lot of bullshit that y'all have been passing around for a long time. You're not gonna see me on here selling you no dreams or anything, because I remember when I first got into this and people were selling me a lot of dreams on what you can do and all the things you can acquire. You can't, which a lot of it was true, but it wasn't as easy as they try to make it seem to be, because all the legwork and the footwork that's going to be required for you to get, first of all, somebody in the public who's knowledgeable about what you're doing, and secondly, for you to have enough knowledge on your end where you can put together something that's going to be acceptable to them. Now, back to the 98 number. That's not true. You're not engaging in a regulated activity when you're insuring anything. That's not, the word insurance comes from the word assurance. You're giving assurance on something. That's not true. That's not true. Public and private, you can give insurance in the private and on the public. The public mirrors the private because the private existed before the public. So no. So let's see what else we got. What do you recommend is the next step after sending payment? Notice that, first of all, I don't know what you mean when sending payment. I've said so many different times that you need to stay away from this word payment. So when you use the word payment, if you get arrested, and I'm being recorded on the internet right now, I'm sitting here telling you, if you keep using the word payment and you go to prison or jail, do not come over here and say Yusef told you to do something, because for the last 7 years, I have told you consistently, stop saying payment, but you want to do it. Watch your words, because anything you say can and will be used against you. You think it's light. Now, when I see people do that, it's only two things I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're not knowledgeable, or they're new and they're fresh over here, or number two, there's some sort of agent and trying to influence other people to use this phrase payment. Every time y'all never gonna catch me on that, because every time you use the word, I correct you. So if it's a test, it's not gonna work. All right, you can't have a payment for anything. We are doing what's called a set off. You're offsetting private credit against public liability, some value. There isn't any money. There is no money. You can't pay for anything because there's not any money. There's no secret account because there isn't any money. That goes to show me also how y'all don't understand that with the creation of money. It's actually the creation of credit, which is a future event, which is a promise to do something. On regarding insurance and what it's really about. Well, insurance is a scam, but why are we talking about insurance? I'm talking about the 98 number. I'm not here to talk about insurance. So what you're doing also is you're being disrespectful, because you see the title of this is the 98 number. Now, I could go hood on you and shit, but I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to get away from that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be, trying to grow my audience and everything. Stop thinking I'm crazy and all that. We ain't talking about motherfucking insurance. We're here to talk about a 98 number, okay, and why you're getting a 98 number, and a 45 number, which are corp and estate numbers. All right, the reason you're having to do these numbers is to operate in commerce. You cannot use a social security number. The social security number is your number one problem. I don't give a fuck who else you wouldn't listen to on the internet, okay, with all these little fancy type shit that they making up every day, okay? The basic premise of all of this is what makes you a U.S. citizen is when you're connected to that social security number. That social security number is required and needed to engage in any of the benefits and privileges that are dispensed by the federal government. All right, so it's a 98 number. Now, the 98 number is not, okay, because the reason I want to talk about this, because I think a lot of people, they hear this 98 number, they like, I got my 98 number. I got my 98 number. What you gonna do with it? I don't know. But I think I got the remedy. I got the 98 number. Okay, first and foremost, the IRS, what does 98 mean? Does it have any significance? All right, does it have any significance? All right, so let's look at this real quick. How EIN numbers are assigned and valid EIN prefixes. This is on the IRS website. And right here, you can see what these first two digits represent. The 45 number represents what? You got it off the internet, all right? You see right here, 45, the internet. The 98 is Philadelphia. It just lets you know it's Philadelphia. It could be 99, 93, 92, 91, 88, 87, 86, 85, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73. It does not matter. Okay, when we say 98 number, it's just a generic term so you can understand what we're talking about. The number does not have to begin with a number 98. The 98 number only represents the first 2 digits of any EIN number, only represents what IRS campus issued the goddamn number, okay? So stop with all this esoteric bullshit that you're out here talking about. Do we understand that? Let me see, do we understand that? Let me see if we understand that. A 98 number is the EIN number. Somebody can you explain what a 98 number is? It's a number so you can engage in commerce within the jurisdiction of the United States. So you can have something to report. So you can have your entity tracked in commerce. All right. So right there, 98 number. All right. That's what it's for. It's issued by Philadelphia. And that's how I found out. I was able, Patrick Devine, God rest his soul, may he rest in peace. He had a Yahoo group, and I found it. And they had all these on there for free. And I downloaded the SS4. He had an SS4 template for you to call into the Philadelphia campus and acquire a 98 number. Now, since then, since so many people have been acquiring that 98 numbers, the IRS campus has been steadily trying to, not really prevent you, but make it a little bit more difficult for you to acquire one of these numbers, which I don't understand why the IRS would do that. I mean, hell, you need the number to open up a bank account and to engage in commerce with. But the purpose of these numbers is so you can operate in commerce without using a social security number. Now, there's 2 documents I want everybody to be aware of, and I'm going to tell you a little story. The first one is a document called the Paper Trip. It is issued by a website called Eden Press, and I see Eden Press has been putting the document back out. I'm sure that's because I've been talking about it so much. It would be nice if Eden Press gives me my props for bringing you so much business over here, but I appreciate you, because that book changed my life, and it really added a lot of value to my life back in the early 90s when I first discovered that book. Okay, but the reason I'm talking about that book, because that book was my first introduction to what are called CPN numbers. CPN numbers, credit privacy numbers. Now, you're going to see on the internet a lot of people, disgruntled individuals, who will try to tell you that a CPN number is illegal. It is not illegal. It is not illegal. What is illegal is identity theft. That's what's illegal. You can't use a number that belongs to someone else. You're perfectly within your rights to make up a number and give it to the credit bureaus. All right. Now, there will be an issue of, well, have you given them full disclosure? You can say this is a tax ID number. This is why the EIN number, the 45 number, was so important. See, what they did was, from in the 90s, nobody was making up their own number. Everybody was using numbers issued by the IRS to get new credit files. What you would do is you would incorporate your name, like John Henry Doe. All right, you'd get a 45 number for that name. The reason for that is because when they check the number through the IRS, that name is going to come up. All right, they can run whatever checks, say scans they want, because all the IRS is going to do is tell them it's a valid number is attached to that name. That's all they're going to say. So people would use EIN numbers attached to their name, and then they would go and get a new driver's license number. They would go to a mailbox, etc., or some sort of place. You'd have to have a new address you've never used before. All right, you'd put that on your driver's license. You wouldn't do anything fraudulent or anything like that. Use your girlfriend's address or whatever. All right, you'd say right now, like in Georgia, if you want a new driver's license number, you have to put in a police report and say that your driver's license got stolen, but I don't know, it may be something different in your jurisdiction. All right, and then after we acquired all those things, new address, new driver's license number, all this information, we would go out and we would apply for credit. We would get denied, but what happens is the credit bureaus are governed by AI computers. And what they do is, as soon as they get a new number, somebody apply for credit, and they've never seen that number before, it will automatically set up a credit file for it. This is what they call tri-merging the account, where it will set up in all 3 of the bureaus. Once that file has been set up, then the next step will be to go get a bank account, and from there, start applying for credit. Now, I'm going to tell you this, that if you're using any of these processes to defraud someone, you deserve to go to jail, because most of these, what keeps these going well is the fact that people pay their bills on time. And I'm using pay in the sense of using Federal Reserve notes. I'm not talking about discharging debt or anything like that. All right. You paying your bills on time. And this is what is required for you to understand credit. Okay. If you have bad habits, all right, you do not need to be fucking with any of this. All right. You don't need to be messing with any of this because all you're going to do is give it a bad rap and then you're going to destroy yourself, end up in jail or something like that. All right. One of the 4 principles that I always teach is stay in honor at all costs. So if you're not going to honorably engage in commerce with the use of a 45 number or a 98 number, please get off this channel and don't utilize any of the information that I'm telling you right now. Don't use any of it. All right. Don't use it. Okay. Now, how do you establish good habits? Let's talk about having good habits. All right. And establishing credit. And I'm going to tell my story. Okay, I went and got me a bank account. And when I got my bank account, I went and the next thing I did was apply for a credit card with that bank and got denied. But they said, look, we'd be happy to give you a prepaid credit card. And I was like, what? So the thing about it is, if you're using a CPN number or anything, that one of these EIN numbers to acquire credit, you don't care if you get a prepaid credit card or a regular credit card. You just want a credit card. A prepaid credit card is ideal. Why is a prepaid credit card ideal? Because your ass has already fucked up your credit. You've already demonstrated time and time again you don't know how to handle your finances, that you are irresponsible, all right, that you have no self-control, that you think that a credit card is free goddamn money. All right. So we need to put some reins on you and put some control under you. And we're going to start you out with a $500 prepaid credit card. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. Are you listening? I'm about to give you free game. All right. Now, once you get, and the reason I'm saying $500 because you don't need a lot of fucking money. You can have, if you got $5,000 to put on there, you can, because you know, people are different. If you can handle $5,000, but I'm saying $500 because that's what I started out with, a $500 prepaid credit card. Once I got that credit card in my hand, I got my debit card and I cut that motherfucker up. Okay, just imagine, you know, if you got this, some of y'all got this habit, you think the debit card is what you're supposed to be using. If you're using the debit card, you're a damn fool, all right? You're lost in the sauce. You don't understand the game. You don't know what the fuck is going on, all right? So look at your debit card, pull it out, and look at that shit and say goodbye to it, all right? We're not using that. We're not using the debit card. We're going to get this $500 prepaid credit card, and you need to go get some groceries. So what you going to do? You're going to go to the grocery store, and you're going to, wait, let me back up. Once you get this prepaid debit card, you're going to go to the computer, and you're going to set up your online account, and then you're going to connect your account to your bank, and then you're going to turn on automatic payments. I know you don't want to do it, but that's what the fuck you're going to do. Why? Because the most critical error that you can make is missing a payment. You're not going to miss any payments. I don't care if you pay the $14 a month, whatever the minimum payment is, you can do that. All right. I don't care what it is. I have my credit card set up to pay the entire amount every month. Okay. All right. Because I don't spend over what I know I have in my bank account. I utilize my credit card like a debit card. A credit card is superior to a debit card because it gives you better insurance. If somebody steals something or utilizes it, it's very easy. You're not responsible for it. If somebody steals some money with a debit card, it's going to take you months to get it back, all right? Or you won't be able to get it back at all. But with a credit card, you got a lot of protections in using a credit card, all right? So let's build this credit card up. We got this credit card in our hand. We got this credit card in our hand. We got this credit card. This, I guess, is my vet. I'm an expert. You know, I got 11 American Express cards. PayPal got a credit card, a business credit card. I got one of those. They gave me a $25,000 limit. PenFed, Choice, First World, FNBO, Citi. MGM, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Staples. They got this new one called Built. I like this credit card right here. And they made their credit cards metal. These right here allow you to pay, if you have an apartment complex, you can put your payment of your apartment on automatic payment with this credit card right here. They gave me $25,000. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. You're going to pay your bills on time, all right? And so the first thing you're going to do when you get this credit card, you're going to use it to go up to the grocery store and purchase some groceries. Groceries were $150, all right? You're going to go home and you're going to wait 2 days and you're going to transfer the money from your bank account to the credit card and pay it off, all right? You're going to pay off these credit cards within 3 days every time you use it. So you're using it like a debit card. This is going to establish discipline for you because you're going to get it, because right now you ain't got no goddamn discipline, all right? So you're going to get discipline in using your online account. Every time you use it, every couple of days, you're going to transfer it. You're also going to go to myfico.com and you're going to get an account and you're going to start monitoring your credit score. This is going to make you a credit score expert. All right. Now, you're going to pay the electric bill. You're going to use your credit card. 3 days later, you're going to pay it off. You're going to pay your water bill. You're not ever, when you're building credit, you don't ever allow your credit to revolve, meaning let it go to the next month. If you have to do this, you don't need to be playing this game. This is a game. I'm giving you the rules to the game. If you're letting your credit revolve, you are the extra average person out there. All right, you in the wilderness, out with the average people. I'm trying to put you up here with the superstars, and it's going to be a slow process. We're going to build it. So for 6 months, with this $500 credit limit, you are going to buy things and pay for things, and you're going to pay it off within 72 hours, all right, every time. Now, why are we doing this? Because there is an AI computer that is an algorithm that is monitoring your credit utilization. It's called credit utilization, all right? They're monitoring a couple of things. They're looking at your consistency. They're looking at you, can you handle $500? Are you responsible? All right, do you understand the use of credit? All right, so after 6 months, they're going to give you your $500 back. So look at the $500 as if you're putting it in a savings account because you're going to get it back. All right, they're using that $500 as security for the account just in case your ass who don't like to pay or anything like that, they have some money, they already got the money for it. But once they say, okay, this person right here understands the game, let's give him his $500 back and convert that credit card from a secured card to a regular credit card. Now you have a regular credit card, all right, that's not backed by anything, it's unsecured. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go on the computer in your back office on the computer. You're not going to call anyone or anything like that. You're going to ask for a credit limit increase. You're not going to go buck wild, all right? You're not going to say, oh, I want $10,000 credit increase because you're going to get denied. We're going to go slow. All right, so you just spent 6 months paying everything on time within 72 hours. I think we can ask for $1,000 or $1,500 increase. Let's try for $1,500. Now the $1,500 plus the $500, now you got a $2,000 credit limit. Now, once you have that, we're going to do the same thing again for another 6 months. All right, you're going to keep paying. Now, the only difference is this time we're going to go on our myfico.com, look and see our utilization and see what they're saying over there and see what's hurting us. And we're going to apply for another credit card. Now, the next credit card I applied for was an American Express Everyday Card. It's called an American Express Everyday Card. Now, getting in on board with American Express is very critical, because, having American Express on your credit file looks good. Sometimes I also applied for a Best Buy credit card. Now, here's the thing with Best Buy. Best Buy, their credit card works in two ways. You can get a credit card, because I don't get department store credit cards. As a matter of fact, it's the only department store credit card that I own is my Best Buy card. But Best Buy has two options. You can get a credit card where you can use anywhere, or you can get a credit card where you can only use in the store. I didn't know that, you know. And the only reason I applied for it is because my homeboy, he did it, he got it. And I said, I was just in the store, and I'm always in Best Buy. You know, I got stuff. I said, let me give me a Best Buy credit card. And they approved me. And the lady asked, which one do you want? Do you want the one you can use anywhere, or the one you can only use in the store? The one I can use anywhere. And yes, I can use my Best Buy credit card at gas stations, grocery stores, buy clothes with it, do whatever, like any other credit card. Best Buy got that. All right. But they kind of stingy with the credit limits. And so is Capital One and a couple other credit cards. You'll learn that. Capital One is another credit card that you can get. I'm not too fond of Capital One, but a lot of people, when they're establishing their credit, they run through Capital One. Okay. Once again, make sure that you make your payments on time. You set up automatic payments. You have your bank account connected to your credit card account, and you have automatic payments on. That should be the first thing you do as soon as you get your credit card in the mail. If you don't do that as soon as you get your credit card in the mail, you planning to fail. As soon as you get in the mail, as soon as I get my credit card in the mail, I open it up, oh shit, I go straight to the computer. Set up back office, set up everything, activate the card, connect it to my bank account, automatic payment. You want to pay, you want to pay the full amount, just the minimum amount, whatever you can afford, put that on there. We don't care. I don't care if you do the full amount or the minimum amount. We don't want no late payments. That is 33% of your credit score. So and it's the hardest thing to recover from is missing a payment. So we ain't gonna miss no payments. I don't care if your minimum payment is $15 a month. Have the thing set on to pay $15 a month. I don't give a fuck if you run the credit card up to you have a $1,000 limit and you run it up to $900. All right, as long as those payments are on time, you can recover within 30 days. You can recover. Do not miss a payment. Everybody got that? And say, well, Rhonda Hill says, I was unscored, got a card from my bank with a $1,000 limit. I scored within a year, was able to purchase a home. My interest rate is 3.5%. Very good. Seems like you know the game. You understand the game. But I'm giving you the game. I'm trying to give you a game so you can have, like credit cards, like a book of cards. You know what I'm saying? A book of them. All right. You get one of these things right here, So, and how you're going to do that is you're going to work each of the cards, and you got to know which cards to apply for. You're going to start out with, really, to tell you the truth, I would probably make American Express Everyday Card my third card that I got. And I probably would, after I get a bank card, I would apply for a card at the bank I'm banking at and get me a prepaid card there. And from there, I'd probably get a Capital One or something like that, or whatever credit card that you can get, as long as it reports. Okay, and then from there, I probably would do American Express every day. After I got that, I probably would shoot for a Discover card. I think Discover has a prepaid credit card too. You can look into them. And I think an American Express got the blue card or something. American Express got a prepaid credit card too. I forgot the name of it. Cap One did me right. Limit jumped every 6 months, $1,500 if you don't miss a payment without auto pay. And what the thing is that once you do this for about 2 years, you should be asking for a credit limit increase every 3 months. Every 3 months, you should be asking for a credit limit increase on your credit card. And it should gradually increase. It should start with, you ask for a $1,000 increase, then a $2,500 increase. And then once you have you just keep using the same thing. You pay your bills with it. You buy groceries with it. If you're going to buy clothes, but your mindset is that this credit card is a debit card. You got to keep that mindset. It's a debt. We're building credit. You're not letting anything revolve. We're building credit. You're building credit because you're going to leverage credit. All right. You're not going to let anything revolve. If you let anything revolve, you're not playing the game right. You don't understand the game. You're going to pay it off. It's called credit utilization. That is what's going to allow you using that card. See, the credit card companies want you to use credit cards because the merchants have to pay them a fee. Every time you use that credit card, they get in money. They're getting money from the merchant, not from you. They get money from you when your lazy, shiftless ass lets it revolve and you don't pay off the full amount every month. That's when they start hitting you with interest, okay? But if you pay it on time, The only person that's getting hit are the merchants. That's why some merchants don't want to accept American Express and Discover, because they have high fees. Or sometimes they pass it along to you and say, if you're going to use this card, there's a $3 fee for using this card. Got it? We're going to go to business cards, but you ain't getting no business credit cards if you ain't established some sort of personal credit first. All right, the business credit is going to get leveraged off your personal credit. So we're going to concentrate on and why would you go into business credit? You ain't mastered personal credit in the first damn place. You haven't demonstrated that you possess the requisite discipline in your finances to have a good credit score, but you want to jump and get a business credit because you think you can start buying shit on that because you ain't liable for it. It's on the business. It's not on you. So if you can buy a car and it get repossessed, it don't affect your personal credit file. Okay, if you thinking like that, you just got a fucked up mindset, okay? You are not ready to go to the higher levels, all right? You is on some hood shit, some ghetto shit, nigga shit, okay? And let's get, we don't want no nigga shit on here today, all right? I don't want any of that, all right? We are going to be responsible businessmen and women, and we're going to handle our credit responsibly, all right? Because you have just been given an opportunity after you went out and got all those goddamn student loans, didn't get the damn degree, or you got the degree and went around bragging about the shit, and you're $100,000 in debt, okay? Don't know what to do, and now you got a new credit file and you want to fuck it up. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker on planet Earth. I'm being intentionally harsh right now. I am. All right, because the buffoonery, we're not going to be dealing with it over here today, all right? We're going to get us a nice credit file built up. All right, I'm giving you a blueprint. It's very simple. It's not even predicated on how much money you make. Though, you should report your income very high because the credit bureaus are going to go off what you say. And then whatever you say, you better be able to damn well prove it by paying off those damn credit cards. You make $500,000 a year and you got a $30,000 limit on the credit card and you got you should be able to pay $20,000 off on that credit card every month or every 2 months at least. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I got approved $2,000 Amex business limit, same time applied for Capital One and was approved for $30K. And that's good. Usually when you apply for credit cards, you want to apply for 3 at one time. Now, when you start dealing with Chase has this limit. You can't apply for more than 3 credit cards, I think, within a 2-year time frame. So trying to get some of their credit cards, they got a whole bunch of rules over there. I don't particularly like Chase, but they are, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is a premier credit card. However, you can, what they saying is true. You know, same thing happened to me. I've been approved $33,000 on a credit card and then did another credit card, only got $1,500 on it. Doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. All right. But we want to build this up. So for 2 years, your goal is 2 years, and you want to break those 2 years down into quarters, 8 quarters. All right. 8 quarters. Every 3 months. All right. You're going to apply for a credit limit increase and new credit cards. Every 3 months, you're going to apply for a credit limit increase on the credit card you already got, and you're going to apply for a new credit card. You want as many credit cards as you can get. Do not sit here and think, and the reason you're doing that is because the aggregate of all the credit limits of the credit cards establishes your debt to income ratio. If all your credit cards together come up to $200,000 and you only got, you got $20,000 on the card, well, that's what, 10% debt to income ratio on all your cards spent. We want to try to keep it under 10%. Now, people say 10% debt to income ratio. I try to keep it at 0 or at least 2 or 3%. 2 or 3%. I don't trust 10% debt to income ratio. In my experience, I trust 3% debt to income ratio, meaning your credit utilization is only 2 or 3% of your overall credit limit that you possess. All right? We're going to have that. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because we don't want to use a social security number. Your ass want to still operate the way you've always been operating, right? Well, you got to do this the right way. It's going to take time for you to build it up. All right. Well, I don't know what you're thinking. How this works. All right. But how it works is unless you're going to go out into the woods and completely eschew society. All right. You don't want no cable. You don't want no iPhone and no Android phone. You don't want to drive up and down these streets. All right. You don't want to do any of these things. That's a different way. But if you want to keep living your life the way you're living it and be off the grid, as far as personal liability is concerned, then you need to learn how to use different entities. We're going to get to the corporations also, because yes, you want personal credit and you want business credit. That is the ultimate. Ultimately, the final destination is to have your entire life operating through a business, because that is what the public is conducive for businesses. Everything that they look at everything through a business lens. And that's why they punish employees and people like that. All right. Is it true that Chase business credit cards put a lien against your ends leases? I'm not sure about that. I highly doubt that, because to be able to put a lien against something, you need a judgment. You have to go to the court, and you have to be held in the court. So, there are liens that you don't need to be held in the court, but I don't think Chase does that. I haven't had any information that would establish that. But a lot of them do put liens against your social security number, because the social security number represents your labor. And that's another reason why you do not want to be utilizing your social security number, because you make yourself open for attack for child support and different things like that as far as your labor is concerned. But now I will say this, I'm talking as an entrepreneur. Some of you are, employees, and I don't know what to tell you if you're an employee, because you got to give your social security number to your employer. Yes, I purchased an shelf corporations. Called shelf corporations. Age corporations, yes, that is definitely an avenue that you can explore, because a corporation needs to be at least 2 years old. They won't be able to, mess with, like this apartment right here. When I applied for it, I got a corporate lease, and they wanted me to have a DUNS number. They wanted my corporation to be at least 2 years old. And they checked a lot of other things, and I had everything that they need. I checked all the boxes, so they didn't give me a problem with it. But the thing is that, get you a DUNS number. Dun & Bradstreet, it is free. Make sure you have your DUNS number. Everybody who's listening to this broadcast should have a corporation. I don't care if you have a brick and mortar or not. Everybody, I deal with a lot of wealthy people who absolutely have no brick and mortars. They have 8, 9, 10 corporations. Because they're aging. They let them sit. They age. The older your corporation is, the more it's worth. And also, when you get a corporation, don't call it, if you clean houses for a living, don't call your corporation A&B Cleaning Service Incorporated or LLC. No, make it a generic name. Like if your name is John Doe, JD Industries or JD World Systems Incorporated, something like that. Give it a generic name, so you can move from one business to the next. If you need to do a DBA, use a DBA or something like that. All right, but have your corporation generic, because the longer it is in existence, the more valuable it becomes. All right, corporations have a perpetual existence. And what he's talking about with age corporations, those are shelf corporations where you go down into the Secretary of State, and then you can find an inactive corporation and reactivate it, pay the dues on it, reactivate it, and put yourself on that company. But you need to do some due diligence on those too, because what if you get an age corporation that has already established a DUNS number and has bad credit rating? All right. The naming convention does matter. Yeah, I said I applied for 5 credit cards in one day and got approved for all 5. Yeah, I've done that as well. And that is good, because it hits your credit file at one time. Now, you got to be careful if you're dealing with Chase on that, because it could come back to bite you like it did me with Chase. But, oh yeah, one more thing, the Houston event. People are asking me about the Houston event. If you look down in the chat, there's a link. People are asking me where it is. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza Hotel on the 13th and 14th of January. Crown Plaza Hotel in Houston, Texas, down in the Galleria District, downtown. Real nice facility. Come on out. We're doing early registration. It's $399. After that, it's $499. Contact us as far as couples and things like that. I just thought about that. I got people helping me put this thing together. All right, so it's $399 early registration. Come out, we chop it up. Usually what I do when I do a seminar, the first thing I do is get everybody bonds together because you're in a room full of like-minded people. These events are things that you want to attend so you can be around like-minded individuals. It's not just about getting information. It's about positioning yourself with like-minded individuals and networking and comparing notes and things of that nature. Okay? You have to give a Social Security number to become employed. You will fill out a W-4, put in exempt, and give them a WABN. I don't know. I don't work. I don't even like talking about stuff like that. That's a disease. Talking about being working and things like that. I look at that as a disease. You're talking about WBNs. I don't even know. You know, I'd rather just quit cold turkey and build a business. Let's see. Peace to you, brother. I'm in a foreclosure situation, and I'm starting with knowledge from these lessons and from another brother. Okay, well, foreclosure, I'm going to tell you how I handle foreclosure. Foreclosure, you always address the debt, and that's what a lot of these guys don't understand. Okay, for you have to stay in honor. You signed a contract promising specific performance. That specific performance did not include you giving Federal Reserve notes, all right? But it did require you to give something. All right. There isn't any money. We live in a world of negotiable instruments. This is why it's necessary for you to understand how to create a negotiable instrument, whether it be a bill of exchange, promissory note, or whatever. All right. You need to make a presentment, okay, and tender this for offset and adjustment of that debt. You need to be able to change the conversation with that financial institution from a non-performance standpoint to whether or not your performance was acceptable or not, because you did tender them something that for satisfaction of the obligation. Okay, but you just turn around doing nothing, challenging jurisdiction, all this old bullshit, trying to put shit in a trust. None of that shit is going to work. Contracts are the most powerful thing in the universe. Hell, you got a contract with God. It's called a covenant. When you sell your soul, you sell it to the devil with a contract. You are not circumventing contracts. Equity is brutal. Stop looking for a way to circumvent a contract. It's not going to work. It's never going to work in your favor. All right. What you're better off doing, because the creators of all of this, they understood this, there ain't any money. All right. So what you're better off doing is doing a secure party process and then tendering them a negotiable instrument. Yeah, they may not accept it. Yeah, they may try to send it back. Send it back to them, but they send it back with a letter. Okay. We have a UCC 3-603B. All right, which talks about if they reject something, then the debt is discharged. Why? Because what else can you give them? Tell me this, y'all. When you pay your mortgage, is there any other thing you can give them besides a negotiable instrument to satisfy your mortgage? Federal Reserve notes are negotiable instruments. There's nothing else you can give them. If they won't take a negotiable instrument, there's nothing you can give them. Okay? They're operating in a territorial jurisdiction of the United States, which is why the Federal Reserve even exists, because within the Republic, they can only use gold and silver. They had to take it within the territories that where they have plenary power, where they can do whatever they want and allow them to create something like the Federal Reserve. Ingenious, demonstrating a very, very in-depth understanding of civics and how the Constitution works and how to locate loopholes within it. However, it also works against them once the populace understands what they did and understand that you can do the same damn thing, because equality under the law is mandatory. All men are created equal. No one is greater or lesser than anyone else. Could you point the right way to how the Duns Corporation, FICO private corporation, was established? I'm not interested in giving a history lesson right now. Not interested in that. I don't know. I'm not interested in that. Peace to you, brother. Okay, so I just told that. So you're gonna do an administrative process utilizing a negotiable instrument, and you're gonna tender that. You're gonna have 2 witnesses. You're gonna have certified mail and a notary. All right. You're gonna use a notarial protest method of doing that, and then you're gonna tender that. And then once you do that, you're gonna file for a quiet title action and take them into court. Once you go in court, you're not gonna argue the value and validity of your negotiable instrument. The only thing you're interested in are the procedural aspects of what is required when a financial institution receives a negotiable instrument. They had to make presentment to that financial institution, which in this case would be the Department of Treasury. And if they are insufficient funds or for any reason that negotiable instrument is has a defect in it in some sort of in some manner, then they need to return it to you and allow you an opportunity to cure that defect. Okay, that is the proper protocol in commerce when utilizing negotiable instruments. So don't let these people fool you and take you into court and say this is a worthless piece of paper. All right, Your Honor, that's not for you to make a determination. That's for counsel to take that back to his client. They can return it to me with evidence of a defect from a qualified third party. Allow me an opportunity to cure such defect. Absent that, sir, I consider this matter settled and closed. We're not getting into arguments. They're always trying to pull you into an argument. How do you set up a bank account as a private being living in the Republic? Okay, through either a couple of ways. If you're going to use a private trust, you use agents to do it. Contracts. There's many different ways you can do that. You're a private citizen, use a CPN number. A lot of different ways you can do it. I'm telling you one way to do it right now. You're not listening. You're not listening. Go back and play this video over. You're not listening. Something will click with you. Extremely interesting information. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Where we at right now? Where many people we got watching right now? Y'all ain't sharing this thing. Hi, we only got 296 people on here, and I'm dropping all this fire, this heat. Where we at? Oh, it's 429 people watching. My bag. 429, okay. Where the likes at? Where the likes at? 7. Wait a minute, how many likes y'all got? Wait a minute, let me make sure I'm reading that correctly. I'm finna stop. I'm not dropping no more gems. Cause when y'all don't press like, that's like y'all saying, fuck you, nigga. Give us the free information. I don't have time to push the like button. Fuck you, and that's all this great information that you're giving us and everything to change our lives. I'm not asking for a donation or anything. I'm just asking for a like. Where's the like? Let's see where the like at. Let's see what we got right now. How we at? Did we go up? Where we at right now? 283 likes. Still ain't. That's all right. Let's see. Can we get it to 300? 300? 300. 324. Okay, good. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. That wasn't hard. That wasn't even hard. Now we can continue with this fire information. All right, now, the credit. Now, why we need credit? We need credit because your personal credit is going to leverage your business credit, okay? This is what the 4-5 numbers are for. You got a 9-8 number and 2-4-5 numbers. The 9-8 number is for a holding corporation, all right? That's so you can hold your assets, all right? All of it is for banking purposes. All right, that's the only reason you need an EIN number. If you're not going to do any type of financial transactions, why the fuck do you need a 9-8 number for? You don't need a 9-8 number. You don't need a 4-5 number if you're not going to be doing any type of business. Because I think y'all minds is somewhere out in la-la land with these processes. Nigga, it's called the UCC. It's called the Uniform Commercial Code. In Texas, we call it the Texas Business Code. That's what we call it in Texas. All right, we're doing business. So we'll go back and watch Jason Whitney, all right, in The Occult World of Commerce. He has that famous line that he said, it is just business. They said, why is he talking about credit and all this? Because I know business and your ass doesn't. You think that these processes are going to magically whisk you away to a land where nobody will touch you, where you can drive a car without a driver's license, and that you can just walk, egress back and forth through the public unmolested and just talk to people any kind of way you want to, and that you just immune from anything. And that is a fantasy that I'm here to dispel. That's why I came on the scene talking about public and private, okay? You only immune like that in the private. You don't have that same immunity in the public unless you're bonded, because everything in the public works off of money. That's the big secret. If you kill somebody, believe me, they want some money from you. If you steal something, they want some money from you. It's called debtors' prisons. It is alive and well. They try to act like it doesn't exist, but they're doing it through municipal bonds. This is what Fidelity Mutual website, everybody was going over there, locating their court cases. Your case number is actually a CUSIP number, Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Process. It's a tracking number for security, and you can pull it up on Fidelity Mutual and see what fund your case is being traded in. Also, if you have a Bloomberg screening, you've done securitization audits. I don't know if it still is. I haven't used one in a long time, but there used to be a section on there you could actually hunt and look up things, and you would see the court cases are being tracked on Wall Street. I'm giving y'all some jewels. What do they ask for identification if you're trying to open it? You give them your identification. Give them a driver's license. Give them a passport. Nobody's telling you to use fake identification. Nobody's telling you to do anything illegal. If they want government identification, give them government identification. Did you get your passport? You get your passport? You got that? Use the process. We talked about it, didn't we? Got my little card. I like the little card. Get your passport. And if you have to, give them a driver's license. That don't have any bearing on the CPN number, your driver's license. Hope y'all understand that. All right. All right. So what? So I hope that's all I'm giving y'all right now. I'm gonna give you that. Y'all want the rest? Y'all gotta come to the seminar and get the rest. But I'm asking some questions right now. How much time I got? I got about 10 minutes. Because I got a function I got to be at 7 o'clock. So get your questions in now, because I'm not going to be on here no 2-3 hours. So what do we got? Yeah, you can do that username for LLC. It don't matter. It don't matter if it's a corp, LLC. It don't matter, man. It don't matter. You can convert an LLC to anything you want. You can convert an LLC to a C corp, S corp, whatever you want. You can do it. So get your LLC. What time is the seminar? When is the seminar? It's going to be on the 13th and the 14th. There is a link in the description. There's a link in the description. Where is that? Where is it at? Let me see. Where did I put it at? There is a link in the description. And if you go to the link and go back to the beginning of this video, you'll see the link in the description. Trying to see, where was that at? I think it was it right here? No, it wasn't that. I'll wait on that. Anyway, what questions y'all got? Well, I'll get to it. It's at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Houston, Texas, on the 13th and 14th of January from 8 a.m. Probably gonna go right about like 5 o'clock. 2 days. What are you talking about? You don't see the info? It's right there in the description. Y'all go to the description of this video, you'll see it. What do you mean you don't see it? Put it right there in the description, right there. Let's see, do I got it? Let's see. Yeah, the video right here. So you go down to the description. Right here. All right, and it's right here in the description. Here's the video right here. Y'all looking at me right now? And right here is the description. Right here, a tiny URL right there. Click on that link. Just click on the link right here. It's going to take you right there. Registration page. All right, so where we at? It says there is no advantage to getting a passport if you have to provide a SSN and all you're doing is requesting a benefit from the U.S. and U.S. citizen. All right, Selman Abraham, you don't understand what you're talking about either. I want you to go on the internet and I want you to go to Fam Guardian. Hold on. Because they're trying to make you give that EIN number. Y'all think y'all so smart. Y'all be killing me with that. First, we were able to do it without it. So right here, this is a passport, applying for the passport. Right here, this is the information you want to use from Fam Guardian. You want to give an explanation with it of what your status is. You don't let somebody tell you what your status is. You tell them what your status is. They don't tell you what your status is. So right here, you need to utilize this information. If you're applying for a passport, there's additional information that you send in to the passport office to correct your status if you had to use a social security number. What information do we send to the IRS Treasury, or what information do we get from them when processing a negotiable instrument? You don't get nothing from them. This is private processes. If you're looking for something to get, you don't understand this stuff. I'm having trouble opening an unincorporated pure business trust with Wells Fargo. Any recommendations? Go to another bank. Everybody has trouble opening up private trust at banks. Go to different banks until you find one or a manager or somebody who'll do it. There's no event. Let's see. I have a job. Okay, yeah. Can we use a corporation as a surety for our bond to the Treasury Department? Using someone as surety didn't sit right with my spirit. I mean, that's how a corporation is a bankrupt entity. So how are they going to be sureties? Everything in the public is bankrupt. No. What information do we send to the Irish Treasury? What information do we get from them when processed? I hope you didn't ask me that. Did you ask me that process? Okay, man, I'm going to kick you on out. I just gave you a fucking answer. You gonna act like y'all be doing that shit? Kick your ass out. Keep asking me the same fucking question over and over again. I say insurance not being subject to being recognized as actively acting in the commercial capacity when you can insure things in your private capacity is a slippery, interesting discussion for a later time. Public and private don't mix. I'm new here. Thank you for the knowledge. Which of your videos would you advise to start by to wrap my head around this? How I began, or do you really understand the private side? I'm on a live stream right now on YouTube. I'm gonna have to hit you back. I'll hit you back when I get through with this live stream. All right. I told her I'm on live stream. She started talking. I have a conversation. Do you really understand the private side? Okay, start with either one of these videos. This is the original. This is the remake up here. This one I redid it right here. Do you really understand? If you are new and you're trying to understand all of what I'm talking about, start with that video right there. Do you really understand the private side? All right, so you can start wrapping your head around this information. Is there a discount for couples? That's what I'm saying. I might make it like, I got to check with my people and see. So call us and contact us about couples. My initial thing is like, I'm charged like an extra $100 for, if you got your wife or something, not your homeboy. Ain't doing homeboys and things like that. We talking about wives, girlfriends. If you brave, even if it's not your girlfriend, you want to sneak in the movies with son, you friend zoned by some chick and you want to bring her with you can do that, But nah. Yusef, your EIN number is attached to your social security number. Pay attention to what he's teaching you about the 98 number. The EIN number is not attached to the social security number. The 98 number is the only number you can get without a social security number. As far as the social security number, the EIN numbers, it doesn't matter. All right, you're not doing it for that purpose. You're getting a credit with it. Okay? You pay attention to what he's saying, what I'm saying. That is irrelevant that your social security number is attached when you get an EIN number for this process, because you're only getting it for business and personal credit. You're not getting it to do tax reporting. You don't understand how the credit bureaus work. What information do we send to the IRS Treasurer? What information do we get from them when processing a negotiable instrument? All right, I got to kick you on off. You don't get nothing. You get your green card back. Let me go and kick you on off and everything. You keep on asking the same damn question. I just told you don't get nothing back. It's a private process. When we start talking, you want me to start calling you out your name and shit? I already said it. You don't get nothing. It's private. What you want them to get a receipt? Thank you for your payment, Mr. Doe. We're going to process that negotiable instrument right away. We're going to contact your mortgage company and set this off for you, and then so you can get that piece of paper and get on the internet and show everybody. Common sense is that sense by which no other sense makes any sense at all. I utilize that on my WABN. I don't want to talk about WABN. What's good, boss? Hope I'm having a good day. All 20-something trust classes and SPC are best teachings in case law, right? Can you offer your seminar via the stream? I'm thinking about doing a live stream too. I'm thinking about streaming it too. But you're going to have to be a member of SPC University to get it. You got to be a member of SPC University. It's not going to be on, if you're not a member, you won't be able to see the stream. So you got to be a member of SPC University. I know that. Let's see. Get a DUNS number for business credit so you don't have to use your private social security. I mean, yeah, you can do that. Just get you get your business credit. That's what I'm trying to tell them. They think the credit bureaus and the government are connected. They're not connected. They're not connected. Come on, people, hit the thumbs up. I'd like to join SPC University. How long does the security party process take to complete? 60 days. That's the only reason it's 60 days because you got to wait 30 days before you do the next step, and then 30 days to wait again. 60 days. Critical thinking is different from common sense. Still $1,500. Lifetime access, $1,500. Yes, you never have to pay another payment. $1,500. All right. Do you have an audiovisual company handling your event? I'm available. Oh, contact us. In the intelligent movement. Contact me. Contact me. Contact me. Let me see how I can tell you to contact me. Go to my website and send me go to hfrngmg@gmail.com. hfrngmg@gmail.com. Send me a number, I'll call you. What trademark is used for the straw man? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm joining soon. You didn't phrase that question the correct way. I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but the way you phrased it, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you follow? And here's the thing: I'm not going to ask a question if it's incoherent. If you're going to do these processes are for people who are readers, who can communicate effectively, who are who are diligent in their studies. All right. If you can't communicate clearly and cogently, you shouldn't be dealing with this. So make sure that you phrase your questions in a coherent fashion, so I understand what you're talking about. I just read Yusef that wherever you see a lawyer in jail, that typically that's referring to someone learned in the old mitzvot or the 613 laws rather than the secular law. Yeah, I agree with that. I would make that too. The original law attorneys and judges were what? The rabbis, the priesthood, Levitical priesthood. Was not only Levitical priest, but also deemed relatively a lawyer. I mean, what do you think the laws were? That's what the priest. Why do you think in your court, your judge wears a robe like a priest? That's where all this stuff comes from, the church. Tender a negotiable instrument to a creditor that give me a provisional credit on the account while they investigate the process. Fine. Do you have okay, can you file a motion that was denied in the court again after proper corrections have been made? If they didn't dismiss it with prejudice, if it got dismissed without prejudice, yeah, you can. How do we file LLCs to restore? Oh, fine. Go on the Secretary of State website. Just go in there and cruise around. Or you can go to a website where they sell them, which are real good. Or you can go on the Secretary websites and look at the active and inactive status of the corporations that are on there. Become an SPC member, go to spcuniversity.com and click on the registration button. Sign up. All right, y'all, I got to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I will be back again. The Houston event, once again, have an event in Houston. Registration link is below this video. I understand the difference between public and private. All you people talking about the Social Security numbers attached to the EIN number. The 45 number, yes, not the 98 number. A Social Security number is not attached to a 98 number. If you did, you just a dummy. All right, you didn't know what you were doing. You do not attach a Social Security number to a 98 number. The Philadelphia campus is the only campus that you can acquire a EIN number without using your Social Security number. But it doesn't matter because you're not utilizing it for that reason. It's for credit purposes. I would suggest that y'all get a book called How to Outsmart the Credit Bureaus by my boy Corey. It was a very invaluable resource to me because it made me understand who the credit bureaus were. A lot of y'all don't understand. Y'all think they some sort of government entity. Y'all don't even know that they family-owned businesses, data mining companies. They have no inherent right to nothing. All right. I thought the DS-11 doesn't need additional docs anymore. I don't know. I wasn't in the military. Puerto Rico, USC court counts as a foreign trust. Yeah, you can read Diane Meaner as well as Bill Cooper. They did a whole article on called the Philippine Trust. Get on the internet and Google it. Very old priesthood mafia. I give them respect. What is your contact information? hfrngmg@gmail.com. All right. Okay, that's it. I'm out. Peace to all the gods and goddesses. I will see y'all on the next broadcast.